At only 2 years old, I was forced to leave Sri Lanka, my native country. At the time, the country was at war, and my family was among the hundreds of thousands of Tamil refugees. In May 1985, we arrived in Bern, Switzerland. Since I grew up here, I consider myself both Tamil and Bandarin. Switzerland is my home. It's the only home I have ever known. Did it always feel like home? No, I don't think so. I actually grew up struggling with my dual identity. When my parents fled the war, they hoped to build a new life in a safe environment for both my brother and myself, which Switzerland absolutely offered us. The country even shaped my values and culture, including my obsession for punctuality. Nevertheless, growing up as a refugee in Switzerland meant navigating complexities and uncertainties. It meant growing up in an environment where I knew how to persevere and learning to survive. It taught me a valuable lesson about being a transformational leader by learning through my journey of finding my own identity. Leaders in a constantly changing world are expected to connect with people. They are expected to be themselves and be adaptable and authentic. We need to know who we are, and that is transformational leadership. Inspiring positive change beyond what we thought was possible by actually embracing your own identity and unlocking your potential. As you can probably imagine, it was not always that easy. Just a few years ago, I would not have been able to stand up here and talk about the strength of embracing your identity and how this can shape you as a leader. Embracing my identity, my roots, my heritage really affected me in a profound way and helped me to be the leader I am today. This knowledge really took me from a refugee girl who struggled with her identity to a CEO leading a multinational team. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined this transformation. Obviously, it was not that easy. I grew up from a very young age navigating two very different worlds. At home, we spoke Tamil. At school, I learned German. At home, we ate rice and curry. At school, I loved cheese and sausages. Although today, I believe my Swiss friends probably eat more rice and curry than I do. But at home, we listened to A.R. Rahman's music. At school, I was used to jamming to the Spice Girls. Although I seemed like I was enjoying this life in both of these cultures, in reality, I was struggling with an identity crisis. I did not want to be Tamil. I struggled with this identity. I couldn't embrace it. I did not want to be seen wearing saris. I was embarrassed. As the only brown girl in my class, I felt really insecure about my skin color, my big eyes, long black hair, which were often also the target of racist comments. My teachers could not pronounce my name. Somehow, everything about my identity made me feel really inferior. I also did not have the kind of representation you see on TV or in films today. During this time, my parents really kept me grounded in Tamil culture. They made sure that I actually learned something about my heritage, because they were worried that I might lose sight of my heritage, rightfully so. So they taught me Tamil, my mother tongue, and they encouraged me to learn Bharatanatyam, a classical Indian dance that was originated in Tamil Nadu in India. Now, reflecting back on the past and really thinking about where I got some of my leadership skills from, I believe that teaching Bharatanatyam was one of them, because it was really the source of my self-confidence, and it really gave me the strength to be in front of people and also embrace my identity in front of people. So this was a really, really nice experience for me to be in front of people and embrace it. Today, when I actually stand in front of people, a lot of these skills I learned, during this time comes back. So how did my childhood look like? So on weekdays, I was at school with my peers. On weekends, I was either at a Tamil speech contest or a dance performance. So from outside, it looked like I was thriving in both worlds, but in reality, I was struggling with an identity crisis. The feeling of not belonging anywhere was always present. So in essence, I was too Tamil to be Swiss, but too Swiss to be Tamil. In this reality, like how often have you felt that you were in an environment where you were not seen or you were visible when entering a room? This was actually my feeling throughout my childhood. And when I learned to navigate that really, gave me the strength. And today, I really would like to share how this happened. This all changed when I finally became fed up by being someone else. I was tired of trying to fit in. Rather than being fed up by the question of, where are you really from? And people assuming all sorts of things about your background, ranging from being adopted to being a diplomat's child, I decided to embrace the real me and embrace my real roots. So today, I happily answered the question, where are you really from? As I embraced the real me, I learned 3 important concepts from my childhood to become a transformational leader: connection, authenticity, and resilience. A 21st century leader is expected to lead and thrive in a VUCA environment that is volatile, uncertain, ambiguous, and complex. And to navigate these worlds, how can we do this, the expectations we have from our leaders? Is there one perspective that we can embrace, that we can have and expect from, to actually create social change? The answer is no. We need leaders as diverse as our challenges. We need leaders from all races, from all genders, from all sexual orientations, from all socioeconomic backgrounds, from all walks of life, in order to create solutions for the challenges we are facing today. We need different voices to challenge our own perspectives. We actually need new skills to lead in the future. Once I finished my master's, I started working in global development organizations. I had the privilege and opportunity to work more in sub-Saharan Africa and South America. It was precisely during this time when I started speaking more openly about my heritage and about my roots. So interestingly enough, to embrace my real roots, I needed the support of Africans. So this shows the diversity of the world today. So what changed during this time? I found the courage to openly share my story because I felt genuine curiosity from the other side. People listened without judgment because they gave me the courage to be connected and to be emotionally connected to them as well. So I decided to open up. And the more I shared my story, the more I found empowerment and inspiration from my own story. The more I shared my story, the more I merged the 2 different cultures I always kept separate. So basically, through my conversations from people in Mali, Sierra Leone, and Kenya, I finally became Swiss Tamil. Today, people often ask me, how are you always yourself? The answer is quite simple, because I know who I am and where I came from, and I am proud of it. As I mentioned earlier, diversity is not just about having diverse roots. Diversity is about different perspectives, different experiences, different practices, different thoughts. And it is important that we really embrace this diversity and encourage people to think openly and courageously. Like many other migrant children, I had the, you could say, opportunity, but at that time it didn't feel like that. I was a child language broker. You know, I translated Tamil German for my parents and for their friends. And that started with 9 years old. So it was a very challenging experience because I had to translate language far beyond my age. But when I think back about these experiences, it gave me significant skills that I even use today as an adult. So it has helped me to grow. So one way in which we can foster grit, perseverance, learning, and also encourage leadership resilience is actually by investing in youth leadership. We can teach young people how to be leaders, and we can encourage them to be themselves. We can foster curiosity, collaborative mindset, positive thinking, creative abilities that they would not necessarily learn in education today. So parents and teachers play a very important part in the upbringing and also education of young people. If I had listened to many of my teachers, I wouldn't be here today. At the same time, there were many teachers that believed in my abilities and encouraged me to lead. Today, I excel at navigating VUCA environments because that's how my childhood felt. I am comfortable in being uncomfortable. And my strength is the discomfort because that is also an important part of my job. I ask questions, I am curious, I would like to understand and I learn. What I love the most is connecting with people from all walks of life. I love connecting with my colleague in Morocco, or a partner in Egypt, an amma selling flowers at a temple in India, or a peanut vendor in Brazil, or a member of parliament in Canada. I love asking them questions and understand their real stories and their uniqueness, and what makes them really unique. Even as an adult, I am often the only woman in the room, let alone brown woman. But today, I have learned to take the seat at the table and embrace it and make it count. I am open to open new opportunities for others. I am no longer embarrassed, and I love wearing saris, as you can tell. And I am proud of my heritage, and I am proud of where I grew up, and that makes me Swiss Tamil. If the 15-year-old me could have had that reassurance that everything that I saw as a weakness would eventually turn into my strength. And I would love to open new doors for people who might have had the same challenges, but not have had the same opportunities that I had. So building transformational leadership is really about believing in people's uniqueness and really making them thrive in a VUCA environment. In summary, I would like to leave you with two thoughts. First, embrace and find out your identity. Your true identity will give you the courage. Second, be genuinely interested in people's stories. People want to be seen and heard. I hope by sharing this story, I somewhat inspired you to challenge norms and break barriers and create the social change that the world needs today. Thank you very much. Danke vielmals. Nandri vanakkam.